Morning. Welcome to July. It seems like another month has come and gone in a flash, even though during this COVID lockdown, sometimes the days seem like they drag on. It also looks like after attempts to reopen bars and restaurants, and after the Black Lives Matter protests and counter protests, uh, we've kind of lost our focus on flattening the curve for the COVID virus. Um, we've also forgotten about social distancing and wearing our masks. Um, So we've seen this spike in cases all over the United States, and I hope we can do something about mellowing that out and getting that back under control, so we can start seeing a decrease in cases and problems like that. I know there's lots of frustration in this lockdown. I'm frustrated as well. We certainly value our freedom, don't we? Um, there are lots of different stories about how the lockdown was either a mistake or it's ineffective or it was the only thing that saved us. So in all of that stuff that's going on, we just need some, I don't know, critical thinking to kind of get us through this. Um, I'm sure, I'm sure we'll be debating this for 100 years or so. Um, and like I said, while I know it's a huge inconvenience and it's cost hundreds of thousands of jobs, which is much more than just an inconvenience, including my job, right? So that lack of work and that lack of having something to focus on has also jacked up these stress levels. Everybody is stressed out for some reason or another. There's lots of things to be stressed out about. So we've got to learn how to handle our stress. But one of the things that I want to make sure we understand is I don't want these messages to spread gloom and doom, right? I want to try to spread a little joy and a little hope. So I've been thinking about this, and what ability do we all possess that could prevent riots in the middle of peaceful protests? Um, what ability do we all possess that could prevent the murder of George Floyd? What ability do we possess that we know brings real change in our lives? And you know the answer. The answer is our ability to love. Now, I'm certainly not the first to talk about this. I mean, Jesus Christ, Gandhi, Abraham Maslow, Martin Luther King, we all spoke about love. They all spoke about love. We all spoke about the power of change that love can bring. But something you need to understand is you don't have to wait to kind of fall in love. It doesn't just happen, right? Um, Love is a deliberate decision that we need to make for our lives. We need to make the decision to love others collectively. If we make that decision, everything that follows is going to put the needs of someone else first, right? Whether that's the needs of a single person or whether that's the needs of a whole community. When we decide to love, we might sacrifice what we need to make sure others have what they need. It should be easy enough, but if I've learned anything over the 40 years that I've been studying leadership, it's that people are difficult, right? People are difficult. So to make this decision, you really have to understand the difference between what people want versus what they need. And you can make that a learning journey to discover what people really need. Now, a lot of people think that's a matter of opinion, uh, but do we want the police to stop killing unarmed black men, or do we need the police to stop killing unarmed black men? Do we want to go out to that crowded bar and drink, meaning we don't wear our mask and don't social distance, or do we need to? So we've got to do a lot of this deep self-reflection to really understand how we're going to make this decision to love. We know that love works. We've got 2,000 years of consistent proof that love is what brings change more effectively than anything else. But it is a long game strategy, right? So we might have to be willing to endure some sacrifices for the short term for the greater good. But it starts with your decision that you're going to make today about loving other people, right? So let's love others today by wearing our masks out in public whenever there's anybody else around. Let's love others by allowing them to protest without deciding we're going to throw stuff and shout at them about how wrong they are. If you're that angry, and if you just want to go out looking for a fight, stay home. Okay, just stay home and reflect on what people really need and how you can help get your voice heard where it needs to be heard, where it's going to have the most good. And it's going to have the most good if you make this decision to love. So I'm going to change a famous quote from one of my favorites, Zig Ziglar. He said, you can get anything you want in life if you're only willing to help enough other people get what they want. So I'm going to remind you that you can get anything you need in life if you're only willing to help enough other people get what they need. So do something today to put a stranger's need above your own. And I'll see you tomorrow.